Hi, everyone. Hi to the person that just joined. Thanks for being here. Hi, everyone on Facebook Live and on YouTube. I hope you're all having a wonderful, beautiful Thursday. We'll get started in a minute or so. Another 45 minutes of some power, some fun stuff. We will go ahead and get started today. We'll get started on our backs in a shoulder stance and legs up the wall, unless you'd rather just start out laying on your back. But we'll come to the mat, lying down. You can keep the legs grounded, or option to come up into a little inversion to kick off practice with the feet overhead, noticing the ankles, and allow the arms to rest heavy. Noticing the left shoulder relax, followed by that right shoulder. Letting the eyes close down, feeling into that deep breath. And starting to arrive. Begin this process of letting go, surrendering, knowing that the momentum that brought you to your mat is no longer required, but this different momentum where we still our minds, calm our body. We transition from all that thinking to feeling. So feeling into every inch of your body, feeling into your heart. Take a couple more deep breaths here. Start to find fuller, richer breaths. Filling that low belly. Bringing the breath all the way up to the top of the chest. And that same deep breath out. Once more, inhale, fill up. Belly, lungs, and chest. And exhale, release. We'll hug the knees in towards our chest, taking some rocks side to side. And then eventually rocking up into a seat. And we'll have the legs extended out in front, toes are pointed back towards our face. We'll start out sitting up nice and tall, hands are alongside our bodies. Hands are next to the hips. Sorry, excuse me. So nice and tall, pressing the palms into the earth. And then drawing the shoulders back and down, just preparing for this forward fold. So breathing length through the spine, through the side bodies, through the low back. Next inhale, reach the arms overhead. And as you exhale, fold forward, keeping the length in the spine as long as you can. And then eventually rounding into the upper back, letting the neck, the jaw, everything in the face release. Either catching a hold of the feet, the ankles, the shins. And sending 3 deep breaths to the back of the body, the hamstrings. And your next inhale brings you back up, nice tall spine. Then we're going to cross our ankles and roll to the top of our mats. Do not cross the ankles. We're going to come to a forward fold, so feet about hip distance. And then grab for opposite elbows, hanging in ragdoll. Option to keep a bend into the knees, or option to straighten them out. Maybe flow side to side, continue to bend in and out of the knees, or maybe add a little bounce with the forearms towards the mat. And then releasing that grip. On your inhale, lift up, halfway bring hands to shins. And on your exhale, fold in. Lift up halfway, flat the spine. Deep exhale as you bow. Once more, inhale, lift up. And exhale, empty out. This time, rise all the way to standing. One vertebrae at a time. Arms reach overhead. Then pull the hands to heart center, closing down the eyes. Now that we've moved a little, flowed a little, deepen this breath. What has come to the surface of your body, of your heart. Noticing all the feelings. Creating an intention for your practice. On your next inhale, fill up with that intention. Let it flow through your entire body. Deep exhale, let it settle in. Open up the eyes, take the arms overhead as you breathe in. Deep exhale as you fold. Lift up halfway flat in the spine. Then we'll plant the palms, step it back to high plank. Keeping the shoulders right over those wrists. The low belly hugs up and in. Next inhale, shift forward on the toes. Then we'll lower all the way down to our bellies, nice and slow. Let the tops of the feet root down. Next inhale, press the palms, press into the tops of the feet, baby cobra. And exhale, release. Inhale as you lift up, feel the front body open. And deep breath out, let it go. Last time, inhale, lift up. And release all the way back down. We'll tuck the toes under, and we'll press up into a tabletop position. Palms under the shoulders. You can use, you keep toes tucked, or tops of feet on the ground. Next inhale, dropping the belly, sending the gaze high. And on your exhale, rounding the spine, bring the chin in towards the chest. Inhale, belly drops, gaze lifts. Deep exhale, round the spine, pressing that earth away. Keep moving with this deep breath that you've created. This deep breath that's so unique to you, unique to your practice. And we'll come back to neutral spine. And we'll tuck the toes under, lift the knees to a hover, just a couple inches. Firing up the quads and making sure you're not shifting back, not shifting forward, but keeping the hips right over the knees. Firing up the quads, pressing the earth away, low belly hugs in. And send the hips high, downward facing dog. Inhale as you fill up, low belly all the way to the chest. And exhale, release, drive the palms into the top of the mat, soften the heels down. One more deep breath in, lifting the hips up. Deep exhale, drive the hands, drive the feet into the mat. Next inhale, look to the top. Either hop or step feet to hands. Lift up halfway, flatten the spine. Exhale, release. Inhale, rise all the way up to standing. And exhale, hands to our center. Inhale, arms to extend. Exhale, forward folds. Halfway, let's breathe in. We'll plant the palms, this time step or float back high to low plank. Up, downward cobra, big breath in as the chest pulls forward. Downward facing dog, toes tuck, hips lift. Next inhale, shift the gaze forward. Then hop or step feet to hands. Halfway, lift back. Exhale, bow. Roots rise all the way up to standing. And exhale, hands feet in heart center. Next breath in, reach the arms up. Deep exhale, fold in. Lift up halfway. We'll plant the palms, send it back high to low. Up, downward cobra. Downward facing dog. Next inhale, right leg goes high. Send the right knee towards that right elbow. Keep driving the earth away. You're high on those left toes. Keep pulling the low belly in. Now we're going to drop the knee to a hover right in front of the wrist. So the knee is hovered on top of the mat, just a couple inches. So driving the palms away. The neck is nice and long. Not looking too much forward, not looking too far back. Next inhale, bring the right knee back up to the right elbow. And then kick the leg high, three-legged dog. Send the right foot towards that right thumb. Dial the left heel down. On your inhale, rise all the way up to warrior one. First, squaring the hips forward. And then taking the hands to the low back, interlacing up the fingers. Opening up the chest, drawing the knuckles down. Driving the right shin, the right big toe forward. As you seal that back left foot into the mat. You add a little back bend. Squeeze the shoulders back and down. Feel the chest open. Taking two more deep breaths here. And you give the hands a little squeeze. And we'll straighten out the legs. Keep the legs as is. the feet as is. And then we'll hinge at the hips, hovering the torso over the mat. Getting the back nice and flat, the knuckles reaching towards the back of the room. Can you hug that low belly in? Right head is reaching forward. Getting that right big toe down to the mat. One more breath here. Start to transition into warrior three. That right foot is going to find the top of the mat, lifting off of the left leg. Dial those left toes down towards the mat. Hugging that low belly in. Keeping the hands active, you can always release them. Squaring the hips to the mat. Trusting the standing leg. All four corners are grounded of that right foot. One more breath here. And on your exhale, standing split, release the hands, left heel kick high. Let the head drop down, the gaze is towards the back of the room. Lighten up the fingers, lighten up the muscles in the face. One more breath here, send the breath to the back of the right leg. On your exhale, Shiva squat, bend into the right knee, left knee comes behind. Inhale, extend that left heel high, breathe in. Exhale, Shiva squat, left knee behind that right knee. Now we're gonna hold it here. Option to keep fingertips down on the mat. Or option to bring hands to heart center. Keep kicking the left heel up towards the glutes, dropping deep into that right knee. See how small you can become. Last 2 deep breaths. And then we'll plant the palms down, option to step it back, high to low plank, step or float back. Up, dog or cobra. Downward facing dog. Next inhale, left heel high. Send the left knee towards that left elbow. And hold it here, notice the shoulders right over the wrists, maybe moving the hands in slightly. Keep grabbing left knee towards that left elbow, maybe an even touch as you find that connection. Then lower the left knee down to a hover just above the mat, just in front of that wrist. You find a firmer press through all 10 finger pads. Next, inhale, bring the left knee back up towards the left elbow. Then extend the left leg high, breathe in. Step the left foot towards that left thumb, dial the right heel down. On your inhale, rise all the way up to standing. Into your warrior one. First, squaring the hips and torso towards the front of the mat. And we'll take the hands down to the low back. Opening up the chest. Knuckles draw back and down. Slight tug of the tailbone under, pulling the chest towards the front of the room. Notice the sensation of the back right foot sealing to the back of the mat. You find a firmer squeeze. Pull the knuckles down, feel into the chest. And we'll straighten the legs out. Keep the feet as is, this nice wide stance. Then hinge at the hips, hovering the torso over the mat. And keeping the hands interlocked. So you can come parallel, flying over your mat. Arms are just along and above the upper back. And press more firm into that left big toe. Leaning in the sides of the ribs, one more breath. And start to shift forward into warrior three. We'll lift off of the right toes. Dialing down to the mat. So keeping the nice grip of the knuckles, maybe firm it up a little, pull them towards the back. You can always release it whenever you want. Notice the hips squared. Finding one point for your 2 eyes. One more deep breath in. And then releasing the hands, standing split, right heel kicks high. Dropping the head, take the gaze to the back. On your next exhale, Shiva squat, bend into left knee, the right knee comes behind. Inhale, kick and high standing splits. On your exhale, Shiva squat, we're gonna hold this one here. Option to keep on the mats, maybe one hand, both hands, or bring both hands to heart center. Now feel into the right heel, pulling up towards the glutes. Dropping deep into left knee. Letting this breath deepen so much here. Last 2 full breaths. We'll plant the palms down, step it back. Lower half here all the way down. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Next inhale, right leg high. Right knee towards that right elbow. Drop the right knee down to a hover. Inhale, back up towards the elbow. Kick it high, three-legged dog. Send the right foot towards that right thumb. Dial the left heel down. Next inhale, rise up, arms extend overhead. And release the hands in the low back as you open up the chest. Breathing in. Straighten the legs out into the torso. Next breath in, warrior three. Lift off the left foot. And release. Exhale, drop the hands, standing splits. Bend into the right knee, Shiva squats. Standing split, left heel kicks high. Back to that Shiva squats. One breath here. You can bring hands to heart center. And then plant the palms, step it back, lower down. Up dog or cobra, lift the thighs. Downward facing dog, hips lift high. And the left heel high, breathe in. Left knee towards that left elbow. Drop it to a hover. Inhale as you bring it back up, kick the left heel high. Send the left foot all the way to the top, dial the right foot down. Next inhale, rise up, warrior one. Take the hands to interlace in the low back, open the chest. Straighten out the legs, hand to the waist, knuckles pull back. Next breath in, warrior three, launch off that right foot. Drop the hands, standing split, one breath here. On your exhale, Shiva squat, bend into left knee. Inhale, back up, standing splits. And exhale, Shiva squats. Keep hands down and bring them to heart center for one breath. Then plant the palms, step it back, lower half here all the way down. Inhale, pull the heart forward. Lift the hips up on your exhale. One through that. One more round, right leg high. Right knee towards the right elbow, drop it to a hover. Inhale as you pull it back up, send inhale high. Step it all the way through, nice wide stance. Rise up for warrior one. Hands interlace at the low back, drop deep into the right knee. And straighten the right leg out, hinge at the waist. Shift forward to that warrior three. Drop the hands down, standing splits. On your exhale, Shiva squats. Inhale, back up, standing split. Exhale, bend into right knee, hands to heart center. Ground yourself if you've not brought them there. Then plant the palms, send it back, high below push-up. Up dog or cobra. Downward facing dog. Last side, left heel high. Left knee, left elbow. Drop it down to the wrist. Lift it back up, send the heel high. Step it all the way forward. Dial the right heel down. Nice wide stance. Rise up with your inhale. Hands interlace to the low back. Straighten out the legs. Hinge at the waist. Keep pulling knuckles back. Launch off into warrior three. One inhale. And exhale, release down, standing splits. Shiva squat, bend to left knee. Back up, standing split. Next breath out, Shiva squat, bring hands to heart center. Then plant the palms down, step it back with knee to downward facing dog. Once you get to down dog, we'll take 3 deep breaths. Always option to drop down onto the knees. Now actually all meet down on the knees in a tabletop. Let the shoulders become right over the wrist. We'll send the right heel up towards the sky, dropping the belly and maybe taking the gaze a little high, just like our cow's back. On your exhale, round the spine, bring knee towards the nose. Inhale, send the right heel high. Exhale towards the chest, round the spine. Inhale, knee towards nose. This time as you kick it high, hold the foot up. Then tuck the left toes under. Option to stay here, or lift the left shin off the mat. So notice when you lift the left shin off the mat, can you feel that left quad light up? Can you keep the hips squared with the heel pressing up towards the sky? 2 more deep breaths. And then continue this up and back into your 3-legged dog. The left heel will drop down, right heel high. Take a big step forward to the top of the mats, high on those left toes. Next inhale, rise all the way up. We'll reach the arms overhead. Bring hands to heart center. Continue to drop deep into the right knee. Pull the back of the left leg up towards the sky. Inhale as you lengthen the spine forward. Then twisting over towards the right, hooking that left elbow. Pressing the palms together, using that connection, using that little resistance to rotate and spiral the chest open. See if you can challenge yourself to maybe take the gaze towards that right elbow, maybe even beyond the right elbow. It's completely over your right shoulder. 2 more deep breaths. Can you pull the low ribs away from that right thigh? We'll take the gaze to the top of the mat, drop the left fingertips down, and rise up into a revolved half moon. The left fingertips can be on the ground, the block, or maybe floating off the mat. Keeping the hips squared, the left toes are dialed down. And we're trying to spiral the spine open, stacking the shoulders. Let the gaze go nice and high towards the fingers, or keep the gaze down. You feel the breath hit the back of your lungs. 1 more inhale here. On your exhale, revolve Shiva, bend into the right knee, left knee comes behind. For Shiva Swava, we're facing the right side of the room. Keep grabbing deep into right knee. Then drop the hands to frame the front of the mats. And on your inhale, rise all the way up. We'll pull the left knee in towards your chest. Resetting the spine, resetting this breath and the balance. We'll cross left ankle on top of that right thigh, setting up for a figure 4. So 1 inhale as you find that straight right leg, nice upright spine. We'll take the hands to interlace in the low back and start to bend into the right knee, dropping the hips, dropping the knuckles towards the back of the mat. And pressing that left heel towards the right side, and then pulling the toes back towards your face. And sending breath to the nice stretch in the left hip. And the crazy, awesome strength in that right leg. 2 more deep breaths. You keep descending that right thigh. Next inhale, straighten the right leg out. Pull the left knee in towards your chest. We'll take the hands to heart center. And either grabbing a hold of the foot or the ankle. We'll either set up for a half lotus, or you can also keep the figure 4. And a couple options, we're going to fold over like this. You can take right hand to the left foot and fold, or if you have lotus, option to take a half bind with the left hand behind the low back, reaching for the big toe. Whatever you have, take a deep inhale, and the exhale, start to fold over, dropping whatever hand is loose onto the mat. Dropping the head, gazes towards the back, releasing the neck. And the standing right leg is on fire. We'll keep finding faith and trust in it. Just 1 more full breath in. Put a little bend into the right knee, rise all the way back up, nice and slow. Drop that left foot down, shake out that right leg. Nice inhale, reach the arms overhead, breathe in. Exhale as you release. Lift up halfway. We'll plant the palms, send it back high to low plank. Up dog or cobra. Downward facing dog. Lift the hips high. Next inhale, gaze goes forward. Then hop or step, feet to the top. Lift up halfway. Deep breath out as you fold. Big toes touch. Sit the hips low. Arms extend alongside the ears. Can you pull the shins back? Hug the knees and inner thighs into touch. And bring the biceps alongside your ears. Slight tuck of the tailbone. Pulling belly button towards the spine. 2 more deep breaths. And then release, straighten the legs forward, folds. Halfway lift, flat back. Plant the palms, send it back high to low plank. Inhale, pull the chest forward. Exhale, hips lift, downward facing dog. We'll shift out to that high plank. Bring shoulders over the wrists. Dial the right hand down, dial the heels down. And lift that left arm up. Option to take the right knee down or take the left leg towards the sky. One more big breath in. Then we'll switch it out. Come through high plank. Left hand drops. Left heel spin down. Reach the right arm overhead. Stacking the shoulders. If you lift the right leg or drop the left knee to the mat. And then come back to center. High plank. Downward facing dog. We'll drop it down back at the tabletop. Realigning everything. The hips, the knees, the shoulders, a nice flat back. We'll take the left heel up towards the sky, dropping the belly, sending the heart forward to like our low cow pose. On your exhale, rounding the spine, bring knee towards the nose. Inhale as you kick the heel high. Exhale as you round the spine, knee towards the nose. Inhale, send the heel up. Exhale, press the earth away. Last time, kick the heel high. We'll tuck the right toes under this time. Stay here, option to lift the right knee and the right shin off the mat. But notice if you want to shift the weight back, keep the weight forward. Keep finding that deep sensation. This new change in your body. I know it feels really, really awkward, but keep it going. One more breath. And send the hips up and back, three-legged dog, left heel high. Left foot's all the way to the top of the mat. We're high on those right toes. Inhale, rise up to your crescent lunge. And that left hip back, dropping deep into that right hip flexor. Bring hands to our center. Inhale as you lengthen the spine forward. And twisting over towards the left, hooking that right arm. Right elbow up on the outside of that left leg. Press the palms together, rotating the chest open. Playing that little, looking towards the back of the room game. If you look up towards that left elbow. If you look beyond that left shoulder. Maybe you look even further towards the back of the room. And now looking down towards the top of your mat, dropping the right fingertips down. We'll lift off into that revolved half moon. The hand can be on a block, the floor, or maybe floating the fingertips off the mat. Stacking the shoulders, feeling the upper body rotates. One more breath here, open and expansive. Then bring the right knee behind the left knee, that little Shiva squats. Right heel up. Notice the shoulder stacks, energy reaching up to the left fingertips. Now coming through center, dropping the left hand down. On your inhale, rise all the way up to standing. Right knee pulls into the chest. Hands are heart center. Take a deep inhale as you grow through the body. And deep exhale as you relax and soften the entire body. Cross the right ankle over that left thigh. Take the hands interlace to the low back. Hold the knuckles down. And sink into that left knee, dropping the hips. Remember to press that right heel forward towards the side of the room. And pull the toes back. With this equal balance of stretch and strength. One more full breath. Rise all the way back up, right knee pulls into the chest, release the hands, bring them to heart center. Then grab a hold of the foot or the ankle, either set up for a half lotus or that's figure four. And you're taking that normal grip, left hand to the right foot, or half by wrapping the right arm around the low back. Catching a hold of the left big toe. Sitting up nice and tall, one breath in. And start to fold over, dropping whatever hand is loose onto the mat. Finding a point to focus on with your two eyes. Next inhale, lift the head up. Now bend slightly to the left knee, rise all the way back up nice and slow. Release that foot, shake out that left ankle. Big breath in, full body stretch, arms reach towards the sky. And hinge of the waist, forward folds. Halfway lift flat in the back. We'll plant the palms, send it back high to low plank. Up dog or cobra. Downward facing dog. Next inhale, take the gaze forward. And hop or step feet to the top. Halfway lift, breathe in. Release, forward folds. Chair pose, bring the big toes to touch, arms reach overhead. Biceps alongside the ears. If you get this chair lower, you need to pull the shins back. Become a little lighter in the toes, a little more energy through the fingertips. Last breath in. And exhale, straighten the legs, forward folds. Halfway lift flat back. Plant the palms, send it back high to low plank. Inhale, chest goes forward. Exhale, hips go high. Shifting out to that high plank. This time dropping down onto the forearms, so finding that forearm plank. And we'll dial the heels down to the right. Keep the right forearm grounded. Lift the left arm up towards the sky. Same thing here, you can drop the right knee down. Raise the left leg off of the right leg. And return back to center, forearm plank. Dial heels down to the left. Left arm finds the weight. Right arm reaches high. Drag the left forearm down, the feet down to lift the hips up. And come back to center, forearm plank. Then drop it all the way down. Lowering into Sphinx pose, tops the feet root down. Elbows are underneath the shoulders. Option to crawl the fingers forward, moving into seal pose. Drawing the shoulders back. And on your next breath out, release everything down. Take some windshield wipers with your legs side to side. And then let the legs release, place the palms under the shoulders. Press it up, high plank pose or tabletop. Downward facing dog, hips lift high. Inhale, lift the right heel high. Send the right foot towards that right thumb, dial the left foot down. Next inhale, rise up into warrior one. Squaring the hips, the chest forward. Soften the shoulders down, take the little arch out of the low back. Engaging all four limbs, the arms, the legs. More importantly, that deep breath. Breath out, open up to warrior two. Something different in our practice. So make it feel nice and good. Nice wide stance, shoulders are soft. Arms reaching front and back. It's active stretch to the forearms, the biceps, the hands. And you spread the fingers wide and close the fists. And just like that warrior one, sealing the back of the left foot into the mat. Next breath in, reach forward, flipping the front palm, and reversing your warrior, reaching up and over through the right fingertips. Nice side body stretch, not only through the right, but also through the left. I always catch myself crunching in, I have to always come back up. It's okay, always adjust. Breathe into both side bodies. And rise back up to warrior two. We'll come into a warrior three. The top of the mat, right foot down, but we're going to bring the hands to the hips. So launching off the left foot, hands are at the waist. Torso is hovering. Toes are dialed down. You can notice if the hips are square with your hands. So eyes onto that one, focus, not moving point. On your next exhale, we're going to start to find a standing split, but keep the hands on your hips as long as you can. So dropping the head down, kicking that left heel high. See how far you can get without dropping the hands down. And holding at the bottom. And then releasing eventually fingertips to the mat. Dropping the head. Left heel kicks high. Option to bend into that left knee. Find a little quad stretch. Maybe take the right fingertips towards that left foot. And the left heel towards the left foot. Last 2 deep breaths. And release the right hand down. Take the left heel high. 1 breath in. And let the left foot soften next to the right. We'll bring feet about hips width distance. Catch a hold of the big toes with the fuse fingers. On your inhale, lift up halfway. Then fold, bow in. Spread the elbows out towards the sides of the room. You shift more weight to the toes. Bring the hips on top of the heels. Next breath in halfway. Let's pull the heart forward. And then release the feet. Rise all the way back up. Reach the arms overhead. And then bring hands to heart center. Close down the eyes. Soften the shoulders. Let your body completely relax. Find complete stillness. Next inhale, reach the arms overhead. And hands to the hips, forward folds. Halfway, let's breathe and palms plant. You can simply step it right back to down dog or take that little extra flow. Next inhale, left heel high. Left foot towards that left thumb. Right heel dives down. Deep breath in as you rise up into your warrior. Driving the nice edge of the right foot back. Strong through that left big toe. Strong through the side of the right leg. Notice if your knee is slightly wet, so you can engage that right leg even more. Soften shoulders, and you soften in the chest, but make the breath deeper. Next breath out, open up warrior two. Nice and open and long. Across the chest, across the left inner thigh. Long through that back side of the right leg. Elbow tucks under, and focus the eyes forward. You can challenge yourself to keep that steady point. Next inhale, shift the palm forward, flipping the palm up. Then reverse your warrior, reach up. First through the left fingers. And then you can find a little more. Keep reaching up and slightly back. And don't forget about the bend in the left knee. Rise back up to warrior two. We'll find that warrior three at the top of the mat. Bring your hands to the hips. Left foot, the left toes are pointed forward. Hands are on the waist. Belly pulls in. Pressing through the right heel, crown of head reaches forward. And next breath out, standing split, but keep the hands on the waist as long as you can. Each side's going to be completely different. So keep the right heel lifted. Hands on the hips. And then when you need to, release them down, drop the head, kick the heel high, open up the legs. Option to bend into that right knee, find that little quad stretch and roll up the ankle. Option to take the left hand towards that right ankle, the right foot, toes. And releasing the left hand down, take the right heel high. Set the right foot next to the left, feet about hips width distance. This time slide the hands underneath of the feet, so palms, the bottoms of the feet are meeting. Toes are at the wrist creases. Lift up halfway. And fold in, let the breath go. Now even more than the last fold, can you bring more weight into the toes, more weight into the wrist creases. Next inhale, lift up halfway. Release the feet and the hands. And we're gonna plant the palms, step it back to your high plank. Drop it down to the knees, press it back into child's pose. Drop the forehead down. Walk the hands back up towards the knees. We'll spin the feet around so that the legs come out in front of us. Lower all the way down onto our backs. Lifting the knees in. Taking rock side to side, loosening up that low back. Let the sole of the left foot plant, right ankle crosses on top of that left thigh. Stay here, pressing the right knee forward. Watch the bring left leg in towards the chest. Maybe rock side to side. If you want a little more, rocking towards the left, so away from that right hip. It's a little deeper into that outer right hip. And going back through center. Let the arms fall out to T. And the legs fall over heavy to the left as the gaze shifts right. Notice if you can still keep that shape of the figure four legs. So still pressing that knee forward. Still keeping that stretch in the outer right hip. Also just adding a little twist in the spine. And let this breath, this life force relax your shoulders down. Back through center. We'll switch out the side sole. The right foot plants, left knee hugs in. Cross the left ankle over the right thigh. Stay here with the left knee guiding forward. Or drive the right knee in towards your chest. Again, maybe take some rock side to side. Feeling what needs the most attention and space created. You can notice rocking over to the right. And find a little deeper sensation. You might want to hold there. Spend a few breaths in stillness. And release the hands out to T on the ground. Legs fall to the right. Keep the figure four legs. Gaze shifts left. Keep pressing that left knee towards the front of the mat. And coming through center, releasing the legs. Pull the knees in towards the armpits, grabbing a hold of the big toes, the ankles, setting up for happy baby. And keep the knees bent or straighten the legs out. Continue to rock side to side. A couple more deep breaths. And enjoying this last little pose we got. And releasing the feet, hug the knees in towards the chest. Bring forehead up to meet the knees. Give yourself the biggest gratitude for yourself for showing up on your mat. That momentum to get you there. And releasing the top of the mat, back of head rests completely heavy. Arms resting along your sides. The eyes closed. The breath gets deep. Awareness comes to the body, the mind. Taking a few more moments here, completely effortless, resting in complete existence. Stay here a little longer. Start to bring movement back in by wiggling fingers and toes. And the arms reach towards the back of the room. Nice big breath in. And big breath out as you pull the knees in, rocking on to your favorite side. And slowly rising all the way up into a seat at the top of your mats. Eyes closed, hands meet at heart center. Sitting up nice and tall. Connecting back to that intention, that fire that you lit inside of you. Now I'm going to share it with the world, your family, friends. Take a deep breath in as you reach the arms overhead. And a deep breath out, pull hands to heart center. Bow into yourself as we seal our practice in. Namaste. Thank you all so much for being here today on live. Sorry, I was reading a message, but thank you all so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I felt like I really needed that after I did that. I feel great now. But thanks so much again. I will see you. Hi, Prashanti. Thanks for being here. I'll see you all next week on Thursday at 4:30. And I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your nights.